Hey everybody, Mike Fifer, Fifer Hobby Supply. As you already know, uh, today is going to be a little mix mash of things and a little bit of train running. I'm going to show you what's been happening down in the engine facility. Show you a couple of things in the room here. Run a few trains. Show you something I had to do today. Just my standard show you everything video. But I hope you enjoy it. Okay, gang. This is about all I have for you this week. I got some cars put in. I put the little lunch stand there. Most of these buildings are just kind of sitting, and the cars are just kind of sitting because I still have more scenery to do. You can see that I have put in some grass and some bushes, and all of the stuff that you see here is glued down, not the cars, just the scenery stuff. And I cleaned up some of the mess, vacuumed up some of the loose ballast and so forth. I still haven't figured out exactly where I'm putting all the buildings and things back here in the back. It just won't come to me. But it will. But I do like the stacked rail sitting there. Like the forklift sitting over here getting ready to unload the Santa Fe truck. Got the Wilson truck sitting back there waiting on some material to come on the that ramp, team track ramp. The team track ramp is not permanently in place either, as you can see. I do like these vehicles set out where they are. I have most of the track cleaned up to this point right here, with the exception of the Schmelly Meats back there, which I haven't gotten to ever since I had to take that turnout out. I have not painted that track back there, or that switch. I tried to the other day, and the one pen that I got out was dried up, and I'm having a hard time finding more pens because the ones I like are not made anymore. I got all this ballasting and stuff done back here. I got all of the foliage along the front edge of the junkyard there glued down. And if I stand back here and give you guys a look, I really like the way it looks. Really liking the look here. So I am not running trains right now, but I have gotten my mess cleaned up here, and I have run those U-boats, and I have run the passenger train around, as well as the cleaning car on both tracks. So I still have a couple places where it's hesitating. I may have to go back with a hand cleaner, but we're kind of, I don't know, we're kind of making progress, I guess. Let me show you something else. Well, you guys wonder what I'm doing when I'm not doing train stuff. This is part of it. There's a water leak on a water line that's underneath this shed, about a foot. Fortunately, down around the corner of this shed down there behind that bush, I can cut that pipe off and cap it. But I didn't know that until today when I finally found the pictures that I had of the placement of the pipes years and years ago, say about 30 years ago. So anyway, was working on digging that out today. Dug one out in the front yard, had a sprinkler out there that didn't work. Knocked a hole in my deep sink in my garage the other day, trying to clean of all things, a small pond pump, which we don't have a pond, but we have a little pump that goes on a thing that her mother and father had, and the cat drinks out of it. So anyways, I was beating on the motor trying to get it to see if I could free up the calcium in it and get it to run, and knocked a hole in my deep sink in the garage. So I replaced that yesterday. So these are the kind of dumb things that I have to do instead of train stuff. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you this. Well, this evening I'm just going to run a couple of trains. You've probably seen these trains running, but I want to tell you about this guy. And it's not this guy we're actually going to talk about. We're going to talk about its A unit. The other day, one of the guys from the club came over, wanted me to give him a small class on ways to fix an SD70 that was not running that he bought from us recently. And we talked about pickup strips, we talked about soldering, we talked about putting decoders in, we talked about all kinds of stuff. Well, I was going to show him an example of the way I put in a decoder on my F units, and I know there's a lot of reflection on here, but that AB set there is identical to the AB set that was sitting there, which the B unit you just looked at was the partner to. And when I went to grab the B unit off, to pull the shell off, to show him how I put the decoders in, the coupler stuck to the A unit toppled out of there, all the way down to there on its nose, and broke the pilot, tore the coupler, front coupler off, all that stuff. Anyway, to get to the point of that is I got it fixed. And here comes our locomotives. Well, there goes one of the trains. And there goes the other. We'll take some more pictures later. So anyway, the mate to this is inside, resting comfortably. And I'm pretty sure it's going to run when I bring it out here. My crossing gate, as usual, is stuck down because apparently two trains passed it at the same time, and that's always what happens. So if I wave my hand over it, just like magic, it stops. I'm going to put an on-off switch on that, by the way, so I can turn it on and off so I don't have to listen to it all the time. Nothing really new down here in this area. I still have to put some trees back up that were over here, but I also still have to do some ballasting back there, which we've spoken about before. The old oil tank that I had taken out from here, the one on the far left, that I took down to the engine facility and I was going to leave there, it's just too crowded down there, so I brought it back here. It'll live there. Absolutely not a thing new down here. In fact, since the last time I ran these RSD 15s and they got stuck on the track because the fuel tanks are so low, I got angry, pulled them off, and this is where they're sitting. Anyways, I'll have to figure out how to fix that. But you can see on I think I may have talked about it before, but if you look at that closely, that thing is sitting on the foam on the edges of the wheel, on the wheel edges, and it's even that is just barely keeping the fuel tank off the ground. Anyway, anytime there's a little piece of track sticking up or anything, which happens quite often with the Cato track when the temperatures are changing, sometimes the locomotive will hang up. So anyway, I took it off and set it there. So let's see what else we can look at. Okay, one of the things that I have gotten done is I cleaned off my little green table that I had sitting over by my chair. It goes underneath there, fits there nicely. Brought all of my trains and Gavin's trains back from the fairgrounds, but I have given him a bunch of modern cars, and I kept some, but I don't know which are his and which are mine, so we're going to have to go through the boxes because I took all of his stuff off the layout, and I think our cars were mixed, and I don't remember what I gave him, but they still have my white paint markings on them, and we're going to have to sort through them. But that's neither here nor there. But what you'll notice, maybe, in this picture is that the two small generators that we had for the camp trailer are gone. We sold them. So those are gone, which is nice. Gives me more room in here. My paint cabinet is over here, and it's been over here for quite some time. I did remove some stuff off of it, like the roundhouse there, put it up on that table. So now I have all my stuff on that table kind of semi-organized. And then that cabinet goes back down here when I get all that straightened up. And God only knows when that'll be. But for right now, since I've shown you all this stuff up here, I guess we can look at trains. Okay, gang, hope you enjoyed 117. As usual, not a lot going on out here during this time of year. Well, I always say it, but there's a lot of honeydews going on, and things that break and things. But anyways, I have done a little bit of work out here. I do have some buildings in place. I've been adjusting some around, and as you've seen, I'm kind of liking what's there right now. But I do have that. In the last video, I showed you guys that 3D printed little workshop. I'm trying to make space for that over there, and going to put one or two of the vehicles, the Santa Fe vehicles there, being worked on. So it's going to be a repair shop for Santa Fe trucks and vehicles. So I'm going to try and work that in over there. Once I get all that figured out, get all the lighting working that's not working over there, and get the rest of the track cleaned and painted, I'm probably going to start putting in a little more vegetation and stuff over there, and you'll see a lot of progress there, and we're probably just going to call it good for now. All my theory on my layout is none of it's done. A lot of people say, "Oh, you know, that area is done. This area is done." In my mind, none of this is done. I have stages that I do, and I've never made it to this last stage that I always plan on doing. And the last stage, if you see me putting up telephone poles and putting wire up, you will know that I'm on the last stage of any particular area in here. But I always have ideas to put like more foliage, more trees, change a little bit of the scenery, try and add something to the scenic value, and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people consider a lot of it finished, but in my mind, none of it's finished. So you'll see stuff happening. It may not be fast, but it'll be stuff. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for looking at 117, and thanks for watching.